Hi guys, and welcome to part 26 of Skyrim Mod Sanctuary. Now, my apologies for missing last week's video, but if you saw my channel update, you understand why. So, no more about that, and I want to just get straight into covering the mods I'm going to show you in this video. And the first mod I'm going to cover is a lighting mod. Now, I've covered quite a few of these before, but this one is the Ultra Realistic World Lighting mod. Now, the title says ultra realistic, but like many of these things, it's a matter of perception. It's also a matter of your system. For me, on my system, it doesn't quite look realistic, but if you read the page, the uploader says, you know, it's a brand name, not necessarily an indication of absolute realism. It's just Ultra Realistic World Lighting is a brand from previous mods. So do me a favour, don't send me lots of messages telling me you don't think it's realistic. It's not important, it's just a name. Now, the main two things I notice about this mod are as follows. Number one, it has no performance drop whatsoever, which is brilliant. It's kind of like the realistic lighting mod. It doesn't have an injector and it does not slow things at all. And that is very, very good for someone like me who makes a lot of videos, because obviously when recording I do get that performance drop. And the second thing you notice with this mod straight away is that the colours are very enhanced indeed. The greens are very lush, the blues are brilliant, and the reds and oranges are very, very warm indeed. It gives the land a very mystical feeling for me. And generally, even if you're in the middle of nowhere, the colours are exceptionally vibrant. Now, this contrasts with the vanilla game, which is a lot more somber and a lot more understated. It changes the sort of bleak feeling of the game, and it makes things feel far more alive. So be aware of that, and it's up to you whether you like that. I find it really nice, but it's a little overpowering for me at times. However, you can use the Imaginator. And one of the things you can do is reduce the saturation. If you use the Imaginator, go to the saturation option and reduce it by, well, I reduced it by 10. And you see the colours are still brilliant, but not quite as in your face. So you can tweak it quite a lot. In fact, the Ultra Realistic World Lighting mod and Imaginator are both uploaded by the same mod author, and they work very well together. Now, it also makes the nights darker, and there are three different versions: a really dark version, a normal version, and a brighter version. I'm just checking out the dark version for now, and I really like the effect. The nights are dark, but they're interesting. It's not impossible to see. And also you'll find that light sources in the dark feel very warm because they're flame based. They have a very orange glow to them, which is quite nice actually. One last thing to note about this mod is it does not seem to make dungeons or interiors darker, whereas some of the other mods make it very, very dark, very hard to see when you're creeping around a dungeon, which is very cool. I like that. This one doesn't. This one it leaves those sort of areas bright. You can see very clearly. So again, that is up to you whether you like that or not, but it's something you should take into account. But all in all, brilliant mod. Definitely gives the game a very sort of unique, impressive feeling, and if you enjoy that vibrant, mystical feeling, this mod definitely want to check out. Okay, now I'm going to move on to two mods. These two mods are the Lanterns of Skyrim Around Cities mod and the Lanterns of Skyrim Bridges mod. Now, unsurprisingly, these mods basically just add lanterns to Skyrim. One of them adds it specifically to bridges, and the other one adds it to the roads that are around cities. So if you leave a city close by, there'll be lanterns. Now, these lanterns really do make the night a lot more interesting. They highlight the roads and bridges, so it becomes a little easier to navigate at night, but it also feels, I don't know, it's difficult to describe it. It feels warmer, it feels more inviting, and a little bit more enjoyable to travel at night. Gives you something to break up the dark of night. These lanterns are also generally in places where it's perfectly reasonable to find lanterns. You'll notice they tend to be in areas where guards patrol, so it's perfectly reasonable that they set up lanterns and keep them alight. It's probably what I would do if I was a guard. So they also look very nice during the day. Obviously you don't need the light during the day, but they add a point of interest. They add something that gives a hint of civilization even when away from the cities. And all in all, it's just one of those things that I think adds something to the game that you don't really notice after a few minutes. You sort of forget you've added a mod and you just feel like it's part of the game. And so yeah, 2 great little mods. I highly recommend them. Now the next mod I'm going to show you is called Expanded Winterhold Destruction Ruins. Now I've only just started playing around with this mod, but what I've seen already is impressing me. It really has changed the way I feel about Winterhold. For a start, there's a great big wall surrounding the city which gives it that frontier northern town feeling. Very Game of Thrones feeling for me anyway. But it's also added loads of ruins and actually had the ruins falling off the cliff. And for some reason, this makes it feel like Winterhold was really big once upon a time. It gives you this feeling of a large, important city that literally fell into the sea, which I think the vanilla game lacks. Winterhold just feels like a small place to me. And I know some of it slid off into the sea, but I don't really get this feeling that there was a large town there before, or that this tragedy was very big. But with this mod you really feel like a massive tragedy hit it. Now there is also a ghost NPC floating around, and I believe there is a quest. I have actually found a small door to a place called the Hall of the Dead. I found that in my last playthrough, and I believe that's part of this mod and probably has some a bit of adventure waiting for you. I think it's fairly high level though, so probably don't want to be going in there at level 5. But basically so far I'm really liking it. I'm doing a mage playthrough, so I'm spending a lot of time in that city, and this really does help make the city feel a lot more believable to me. And hopefully the quest will be fun as well. If you want to find out how I like that, you can join me in my Let's Play. I will be doing that eventually. And that's it for the mods in this video. Now, those of you who have been watching my update videos will know I've been very busy recently, and that I am about to go on vacation at the end of this week. So I'm hopefully going to have a lot more time for playing Skyrim and making more videos. I recently started a new series, Skyrim Tweaks and Fixes, and that was very well received, and I really want to do a lot more of that type of video. I also got a lot of response from people with regards screenshots, and people have been posting brilliant ones, and I'm gonna try and get as many of them included in my different videos as possible, so keep posting them. They're absolutely superb. And of course there is my Let's Play, so if you want to join me on my quest for complete global domination, feel free to do that. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, remember, click the like button. I always appreciate that. I look forward to seeing you guys for whichever video you choose to join me on, and until then, as always, have fun.